This video is kindly brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to create a beautiful online presence. Hi, my name's Janelle and welcome back to Rosery Apparel. Today I am so excited to be filming another cozy sew with me video. These are quickly becoming some of my favorite all-time videos to make, and I'm so glad you've been enjoying them as well because I just love documenting the whole making process of one garment in a video. There's just something really satisfying about it. And today I'm particularly excited because I'm going to be making or attempting to make a French sewing pattern. So if you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know that I have a series on my channel where I attempt to make Japanese sewing patterns. But while I was in Belgium last year, I went to the sweetest little fabric shop. It was honestly the most beautiful fabric shop I've ever been in. And I happened to pick up a pattern. It's actually a French pattern by the brand Atelier Brunette. It's a blouse pattern and I thought it could be really fun to have a go at making it today, trying to use just the French instructions. I haven't actually opened up the pattern yet, but there is a bit of English on the back, so I'm assuming the instructions are in both French and English. But the whole fun of trying to make a sewing pattern that is made in a different language is the fact that you kind of have to try and figure it out based off the pictures. I don't like using Google Translate or anything like that because that for me takes away the challenge and therefore takes away the fun. So I'm going to open this up, have a look. It has a 3 out of 5 level of difficulty, so I'm assuming it's going to be a pretty straightforward make. And at the same fabric shop, I also picked up some beautiful floral fabric. The print is a color palette that is very much my style. It's all very autumnal and perfect for this time of the year because we're heading into autumn here in Australia. Today is actually the first like really chilly morning that we've had. I've like got my hand knitted jumper on and everything. It feels very cozy and the perfect kind of day for a bit of sewing if you ask me. While I was getting this fabric cut, the lady who was cutting it for me actually let me know that this fabric was designed by a local Belgian designer, which just makes it such a special souvenir to take away from my time in Belgium. And I also found out afterwards by reading the receipt that it was called Flowers and Nuts because there is a few little almond nuts in it as well. It's just such a cute little detail to this fabric that I love. I'm so glad I picked it up. I love it and I think it's going to make into such a beautiful blouse. It also matches my nail polish really nicely, so that's super satisfying for this video as well. That was not planned. Also at the same shop, I picked up some buttons. They are these adorable flower buttons, which again, I think works so nicely with this fabric. And yeah, I'm not sure exactly how many buttons are needed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is lucky. There are 7 buttons needed and there are 8 buttons. I'm not sure if the cuff needs buttons as well, but hopefully not. So yeah, let's open up these instructions and see what we're working with today. This brand does such beautifully packaged patterns. I love it. Oh, that's cool. They include a little tag to put into your finished garment. I love that. What a good idea. Okay, so they have the French in bold and then they've got English right underneath, which is really unfortunate. I was hoping that English would be in a whole separate section so I wouldn't be tempted to look. So you're just gonna have to trust me and believe me when I say I'm not reading the English. But just looking at it, the pictures are really detailed. So I think just going off the pictures isn't going to be a problem. But here is what the finished blouse should look like. I was also going to mention as well, and I think I mentioned this in my autumn sewing plans video, but I've been really heavily inspired by the brand Serger and their blouses. And Serger is a French brand, so I think it feels very fitting. But the blouses in particular that I've been very inspired by have had this exact style with just the collar stand, but they've had this like ruffle detail all the way along the buttons and then around the neckline as well. If I have enough fabric, I really want to have a go at replicating that design feature. I think that would look so stunning in this fabric and also in this style of blouse. I also got a comment from someone on my autumn sewing plans video telling me that this pattern kind of looks different once it's finished compared to the illustration. And I've just had a look at this picture on the front. It does look more like a bat-winged blouse, which I'm not 100% sure I like. I was really hoping there'd be separated sleeves. So I'm not sure if I can like change up the pattern slightly to get a more defined sleeve look. I don't love the bat wing look for a blouse. So yeah, I'm gonna try and see if I can change that up a little bit potentially. I'm going to make the small. I don't want to be completely swimming in this blouse, so I'm gonna make the small. Maybe I should make the extra small. Oh, it seems like a very voluptuous gathered blouse. In the end, I decided to go with my gut feeling and make the extra small. So I started by tracing out all of the template pieces in the extra small size so I can keep the actual pattern intact for use later. And while I get started on tracing out all of these template pieces, let's just take a quick break to talk about the sponsor of this video. This video has been very kindly sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to create a beautiful online presence and launch your passion project. Whether you'd like to start making and selling your own products, create a beautiful portfolio to showcase your work, write a blog, or simply create any website of any kind, you can design, build, and run your dream website all by yourself with Squarespace. You simply select from their range of beautifully designed templates, and then once you've chosen your template, you are then able to change it up as much or as little as you like. You can change everything from the overall layout of the website. You can add any features you need to run your business successfully, and you can change up the fonts and colors with literally just a few clicks. No knowledge or background needed in coding whatsoever. I've personally been using Squarespace to run the Rosery Apparel website and online store since 2016, and I can hand on my heart say that I have never once considered going with another website builder provider, because Squarespace make running a website so stress-free and easy. And if it wasn't already easy enough, Squarespace now have a new design system called Design Intelligence, where you can answer a few questions, and then with the help of AI, they will create a custom website that is built just for you. So if you would like to create a website of your own, then I totally recommend you go and check out Squarespace using the link in the description below this video and take advantage of their free trial so you can test out just how easy it is to use for yourself. And then when you're ready to launch your beautiful new website, head to squarespace.com/roseryapparel for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video and for being such an incredible supporter of my channel. Okay, so I've just been doing a little bit of research into this blouse. There aren't that many pictures. I couldn't find anything on Instagram, but I googled the pattern brand and had a look on their website. So here is what I mean. Like, it's very much a batwing style blouse, which is not what I expected, if I'm being honest. The picture on the pattern packet has much more subtle sleeves, which I personally prefer. I love the gathering in the back, like that I'm all about, and also in the front as well. I think the gathering there is going to be beautiful. But yeah, I just don't love how voluminous the sleeves are, and this is coming from someone who loves a good puffy sleeve. I'm going to make the actual blouse part up first. I won't even cut the sleeve pattern pieces out because I think I'm gonna actually swap them out for a different blouse sleeve template piece potentially. I might even use my beloved pansy pattern sleeve. I love that sleeve, and I feel like that will still add a good amount of gathering. It is quite a puffy sleeve, but it's just not going to be like over the top batwing style. So yeah, I am going to be changing this pattern up quite a bit, but I think that's the fun of it, is to experiment and add things that you like and take away things that you don't like so much, and yeah, make a garment completely your own. I'm just looking at the pictures here, and I think technically we're meant to attach the button facing pieces onto the blouse, but because I want to add that ruffled detail, I don't think I'll do that straight away. I'll leave that for a little bit and instead focus on gathering up the back and front pieces at the shoulder for the front and at the point where the yoke is going to be joined for the back. is done. How pretty is this fabric with those gathers? It's like such a winning combination. So now I need to attach the fronts to, I think I was supposed to attach the other side of the yoke at the same time. See? Now I need to gather up the front so it can fit onto this yoke section here, but it looks like it's already attached to the back piece. So I think instead of just attaching one yoke to the back, I was meant to do both. So I'm just gonna go back and do that. Okay, so now we have the front of the back and the back with the yoke nicely attached. I don't think it's detrimental that I haven't attached this button edge yet, because I want to add that ruffle hopefully. And like at the moment, we're just going to attach this gathered edge to the top of the yoke. So I don't think it's going to make a difference that I haven't attached that yet, hopefully. Here's what it's looking like currently. It's so cute. I absolutely adore the gathering, but I'm very glad I made an extra small because there is a lot of fabric. Like, it is very voluminous everywhere, which is great. So I've been having a little bit of a think about how I'm going to do the ruffled detail along the collar and along the button edge. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to make the collar stand and the button facing its own separate piece and then attach both at the same time to the actual blouse. I have no idea if that's even going to be possible. I kind of thought it would be really straightforward, but now that I've gotten up to the steps where I need to attach the collar stand and everything, I've realized to attach the ruffle is actually going to be a bit of a nightmare. I think what I'll do now is actually make the ruffle and then we're just going to have to figure it out. I've got an idea in my head, but I'm not sure if it's going to work. It's going to take a bit of trial and error, I think, but I'm sure we'll get there in the end. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one side of the collar stand and attach the button facings to each end. And then once it's sewn, flip it right side out. So it will look something like that. And then we have to make this whole thing and then shove it into this, which is 1000% easier said than done. This is gonna be so much harder than I first anticipated. Maybe the ruffle isn't gonna happen. I think I've figured it out and then it goes. I've just pressed in one edge of the button facing in by the seam allowance, which is 1 centimeter. And then I'm going to attach it to the top of the button of the stand facing with the right sides together. And then once that's sewn, that will flip down. Yeah, I think that should work. And then we can, I don't know, I can't figure it out. Okay, so I think I've figured it out. I have attached the button facings onto the interfaced collar stand. I've also done the same on the other side, and then I should be able to flip them right side out and then fold the seam allowance in place. I'll try to talk through my method as I go, but honestly I have no idea if this is going to work out. Luckily I have quite a bit of leftover fabric, even though I know I need to still cut out the sleeves. So if this completely destroys these pieces, I can always cut out some more, but let's see how we go. Okay, so I have just attached the the button and buttonhole facings to the non-interfaced collar stand. I also have one here with interfacing on that should be attached to the front of the blouse, and then hopefully because of the interfacing you won't be able to see the ruffle underneath. Then because I've attached the button facing onto this edge, I've then just pressed the seam allowance up. So what I'm going to do now is attach the ruffle all along this edge while attaching this other collar stand and attaching it to the blouse at the same time. Actually, wait, I've just realized I think I can hand sew this onto the neck edge first of the blouse. Let me try that. I'm actually embarrassed at how long that took me to figure out, but I finally have the ruffled collar attached. I've decided to stop it at the end of this collar stand, so you're not going to see it on the inside of the garment anyway. It's kind of hidden in the print, so I don't know if the headache and the effort was actually worth it in the end, but it is really cute. So I'm going to leave it there for today. It's been a really big day of sewing, and then tomorrow when I pick it up again I will try to figure out what we're going to do with the sleeves. I'm not sure yet what we're going to do, but now that I've figured out the collar, I'm sure I can figure out some sleeves for sure. So it is the next day and the blouse is looking so cute so far, but yeah, it doesn't have much shape yet. It just is very boxy the way it is currently, and I don't think will be very flattering on me. So I'm actually going to be using my pansy sewing pattern and use the armhole shape and the long sleeves to just give this blouse a little bit more shape and some defined sleeves instead of the batwing sleeves. So I've cut out the sleeve piece and I've cut it out at the size 14, even though I'm normally a size 8, because I do want these sleeves to have a bit of volume, just like the original pattern, but just not quite as much as the original pattern. I've also lengthened it by about 1 inch because the original pansy pattern is about a 3/4 length sleeve and I want it to be just ever so slightly longer. And now what I'm going to do is take the bodice front and bodice back pieces, stick them together like this, and then trace out this armhole shape on the actual blouse. So yeah, I'm just going to stick these together real quick. It does have a slight curve, but see, don't know if you can see, but by cutting this we'll just create a slightly more defined armhole shape, which is what this blouse is needing in my opinion. Okay, sleeves are in. They're still like quite voluminous, but like much less than what the original sleeve would have been. The blouse itself though is incredibly voluminous and I kind of love it. I can already picture myself wearing this with like just a plain pair of jeans and stuff. It's just like such a statement blouse, that's for sure. Also the sides go up quite significantly, which I was not expecting, but I kind of love it. Like it just gives a really interesting detail to the finished blouse. Obviously I haven't hemmed it or anything, so it will come up even more than that. I'm glad I made the extra small though, because I still feel like I am kind of swimming in this blouse. Yeah, a small would have been way too big on me, I think. sleeves are done, blouse is hemmed, and now all that's left to do is to add those adorable little flower buttons to the front. I am loving these sleeves. They're the perfect amount of puffy. I think any more and it would have been a bit too much. I also think the defined sleeves are a lot better than the batwing sleeves personally. So yeah, let's add these buttons and then I can try it on and see how it looks. I almost forgot to attach the little tag, so I'm going to quickly do that and then I can show you what this finished blouse looks like. To be honest with you, during the whole making process of this blouse, I was not sure how it was going to turn out. I just felt like I was swimming in the fabric and I just felt like it was going to be too puffy and too, I don't know, but like now that it's done, I love it, especially with just a plain pair of pants. I think it just works so nicely. I love the sleeves. I'm so glad I decided to put the pansy sleeves in instead. I just think, yeah, it's a bit more my style. I also love this feature here. It means I'm not really easily able to tuck in this blouse into skirts and trousers, but I don't know, I just think there's something so beautiful about this high cut out bit here. And obviously the gathers, I'm in love. I just think it has turned out into the most adorable, whimsical blouse. I could not be happier with it, and it's just such a fun souvenir from my time in Belgium, and it's been fun to use all the bits and pieces I bought at that beautiful little fabric shop all in one project. I'm in love. So yeah, I genuinely could not be happier with how this turned out, especially because I did have my doubts in the making process of whether or not I was going to actually like this blouse. So the fact I love it so much is honestly such a relief, and yeah, I think it's going to be such a cute addition to my wardrobe and perfect for the autumn months as well, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed following along as I make this beautiful French sewing pattern. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Did I make the right choice adding different sleeves, or would you have included the batwing sleeves? I definitely am considering making this blouse again with the batwing sleeves, but in maybe a plain cotton fabric. But yeah, I just feel like the busyness of this fabric just would not have worked with such full, voluminous and statement sleeves. If you did enjoy this video, it would really mean a lot to me if you could give it a like, and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more sewing type videos just like this one. Thank you so much for watching this video until the very end, and I'll see you in the next one.